Therapy Army! Welcome to United Real Therapy. We're having a cuppa. Cheers.
Big up, Nerdin. Big up the chat. Big up Therapy Army.
Welcome to Sean. How you doing, Sean? Out California, yay! What go
Pretty
on?
good, man. Pretty good. It's a good time to be a United fan, you know. So the weather's nice. Like I said, it's a good time to be a fan, to be a United fan. Football is around the corner again, so yeah, I'm excited.
And how's that married life?
Pretty good. Pretty good so far. So far, so good. Yeah.
So far, so good.
So far, so good now. Yeah.
Big up to you, bro. Big up to you. Big up to you. Listen, we got a show for you tonight, people. We got a show for you tonight. We're going to analyze a little bit of our latest and new signing. Welcome to Manchester United, Lenny Yoro. Yo, 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 yo. Yoro. Yoro, Yoro. If you know, you know, innit? Foxy Brown. Big up. And let's get into it, people. Lenny Yoro is a Manchester United player, 18-year-old from Lille, originally from out suburbs of Paris. I think he made his debut when he was 16. So you have to be a phenomenal talent to be playing at the age of 16. 16. And then to play a season already in football, season and a bit, it's incredible. We welcome him. We wish him well. We witness good health and a fantastic career at Manchester United. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Big up Tommy. It's going to be very interesting to see how he develops. I think he's coming to start. He's not sitting on nobody's bench. I think, there's going to be raw elements to him, but I do think he's going to learn and he's going to get better. But big up to you, Tommy. What go on, Tommy?
Big up, lads. How are we doing?
We're doing all right. Lenny Yoro is a Manchester United player, signed, sealed, delivered. I do think we've paid slightly over the odds for him. If the reports are correct, we've paid 52 million plus add-ons. It is an investment. Apparently, we're paying it over 5 years, so it doesn't seem a lot. We're not paying it in lump sum, which always helps. It's going to be 5 years. 5-year contract is signed, so we welcome him. We now need midfielders, but I'll get your reactions first, Sean, and then Tommy. Lenny Yoro is a United player.
I think it's a fantastic signing. You know what I said earlier, that for me it's a great time to be a United fan for many reasons. One, we appear to be going for what we want, and competently maneuvering in the market. So we're not hearing too many stories. We're not spending all summer going after somebody. We're identifying targets and executing. We love to see that. Secondly, we're signing young talents, like the best talents in Europe, which is what for a while United seemed like we couldn't do. So we're forced to overpay for old players, basically like Cavani and Casemiro and those types, Alexis Sanchez and the likes. We're signing the best young players, the best young prospects, in Europe. And then thirdly, opposition fans hate us. Like many other fans are trying to spin this Euro deal into a bad deal. I've seen comps on Twitter, with mistakes that he might have made in some games. Like the fans are bitter. Liverpool fans are salty because they wanted to get him and they thought he was going to Real Madrid. So it's a great signing all around for many different reasons. I'm not worried about the price at all. I think it's actually a good price, considering what we've seen before in the past from United. I also agree with you that he's a starter. It's probably going to be him and Martinez. I would like us to sign De Ligt still. I would still like us to, find the funds somewhere to go after De Ligt from Bayern. But I agree with you that we also need more midfielders. Yes, we need 2 midfielders, and I would like us to get a striker as well, like an older somebody, with more experience, even if it's on a free transfer. We need another body, up front, basically.
Tom?
Yeah.
What do you think of Lenny, I thought signing of Lenny Toro. By the way, we got a bit of breaking news. Apparently, Ugate has agreed personal terms. Didn't he agree personal terms a month ago? Is this Fabrizio recycling news?
No, we were close before. This is a
Okay.
new development. Yeah, we're just
Okay.
close before.
Go ahead, Tommy, on the young signing of the 18-year-old, Manchester United signing of the 18-year-old, Lenny Yoro.
Yeah, I think I understand what people are saying about with the price tag and everything. The only difference that I'd probably say is we always make this point on this channel about signing players on that first year contract, first proper contract for 5-6 years. Let's not give them stupid money. I think considering he's 18 years old, he's clearly a sought after player. You don't have all the top clubs in England, Spain, Germany, France look at you, and some of them speak to you. Some of them say, "Wait for us," almost a year, and then we'll sign you. And you don't have a lot of those clubs do those sort of things for an 18-year-old unless they see something. And I think a lot of those clubs see a very good young player, but it's about development. And the one worry that I've always had about Man United is over the last decade we don't develop players well. We've had talented players come to this club and crash and burn. We had, Memphis Depay, we've had Matthias de Ligt, we had Eric Bailly, we had a lot of good talented players that came to us when they were very young, but we just couldn't develop them. And I hope for God's sake, and I hope for really Lenny Yoro's sake, because I do think he's a top player, and I do think he probably will reach big heights in football, but we have to develop him properly. He's an 18-year-old kid. I do want to add a little bit of context to it, guys. He's coming to a league that he doesn't know. He's coming to a country that he doesn't know. He's not familiar with. He has to acclimatise and settle into all of this. He's not a 25-year-old professional footballer that's played for so many years. He's coming out of his comfort zone to come to a big opportunity and a big project. For me, I can understand people's point about the price tag, but as you've already said, Nurdin, it's paid over numerous years. So I think that's where Man United probably see the better side of the value of the deal. Because if he doesn't maybe turn out to be a player that he does, they can still sell him and they're not going to lose as much money in the short term as they will do in the long term, which then they can worry about that later. And the only other point I would say is he's signing on for roughly about £100,000 a week. He gets like 1.7 million if he reaches certain targets per year of his contract. And then the add-ons at part of the deal, we don't actually have to pay Leon until he reaches major honours, so to speak. So if we win the Premier League or the Champions League, or you hit a certain, I think there might be something to do with Champions League qualification, maybe something along the lines of that. Anyway, like at the end of the day, I think he's a top player for the age that he's at. I think he's one of the best 18-year-olds out there right now. But again, there's no point in buying talent if you can't develop it. That's my concern anyway.
100% those worries align, but no excuses anymore, Tom. Manchester United are stat now, technical football, technical development guy, a director of football, we've got a CEO that knows about football. We've got we've got 4 people in place.
Yeah,
we've got
that's
head
the
of
thing that I
recruitment.
trust. Yeah, I do trust that
guy.
because
We've got all these things in place. So there's no excuses if this kid doesn't get developed.
But the judgment though, that I think we could probably look at is 12 months ago. If we tried to sign this kid, you'd have no hope because you don't have football experts who understand his talent or what he will bring. Because he's not going, like you said, he's not going to bring any. I don't think he's going to be a massive impact straight away. He needs to learn. He needs to develop. Still, he's 18 years old. But the difference is you have these football experts, supposedly in our club now, who have done those sort of roles with players at previous clubs for years, and they've been very successful where else they have been, but they have to bring that success to Manchester United. The only difference that I would say with Yoro is we have got rid of a 20, I think it was 30-year-old Varane, and you've brought in what people are saying anyway, he's supposedly going to be the next Rafael Varane. He's like for like modelling of him. The only difference that I would say with it is, as more to the point of we've signed a good, talented young player, I think this puts Manchester United more into the market to say we can compete with big clubs for players, and we're not frightened when Manchester City come in for a player that we like, or Real Madrid are sitting there. Because clubs like Liverpool, when they saw Real Madrid were sat there, they didn't think it was even worth competing for.
Tom, I'm
PSG,
glad you're saying this.
PSG have all the money in the world, guys. They could have paid to get this kid out of Lille if they wanted to, but they didn't do it because they knew Real Madrid was sat there. They've just lost one of their talented boys, Mbappe, to Real Madrid. So you can't. That's the rhetoric: is you can't compete with Madrid. Well, you can. You've got to tell the kid the right. You've got to tell the people the right sort of things. The difference is, and this is where I think the kid's decision came into it, guys, is Man United put the money where their mouth is, and Real Madrid didn't. Real Madrid wanted him to sit onto their strategy, wait 12 months, and we'll sign you for free in 5 months' time on a free contract, and you'll join us next summer. Whereas Man United said, "Well, we believe
Tom,
in you.
do you think that
we'll pay the money for you, and we've
we've
got
slightly
you."
overpaid for him? And apparently those two other clubs didn't want to overpay for him. We've paid almost double what they were willing to pay. Real Madrid apparently 30 million. Paris Saint-Germain around the 35.
But
Manchester United
Eugene, we're in a different
52
position.
million.
We're in a different position compared to those other clubs, right? Real Madrid has a settled back four. So does PSG to a large extent. We paid more because Lenny Yoro is worth more to United right now than he is to Madrid. Madrid, they like to do collectibles. They like to go around collecting the best players. And
Yeah.
why I said that I like what Tom was saying is that I think the expertise is not so cold. It's demonstrable. It's here. It's a small industry we're talking about, like this, agents, and they all know each other, right? And when you're receiving a phone call from United and it's Omar Berrada speaking to you instead of Ed Woodward, the outcomes will be different because Omar, you know him from this other place. The same thing applies to Dan, Ashworth and these guys. These are people with a track record, which is why United went after them
Yeah.
to try and bring them over. So we're seeing the direct result of the moves that were made by Ineos at work here. The negotiation skills, like the knowledge of ways to structure transactions, so that you don't have to pay upfront, like the relationship equity that you have with the people that you're dealing with. All these things count. I personally have been really impressed, like with the speed, and just like the level of competency you're seeing. So instead of spending all summer doing a dance with Everton about Braithwaite for 70 million or 80 million,
Yeah.
and then panicking at the end of the summer, and either paying the ridiculous amount of money or going for somebody else, we're moving to a different target and signing him on quickly. Young, very young, very impressive talent. I hope he's willing to fight for his position because I can definitely see, he's 18 also, and center back is a delicate position. I think we would either need Euro to be, much better than any of us can possibly imagine because the responsibility that he's now being asked to bear as the starting center back for United is a great one, which is why I also think we should try and sign Delete. But it's a really hard task that is in front of him, and I'm looking forward to. I mean, even Ugate as well, right? If we're able to pull that one off too, I mean, come on. People would have to give. I said somewhere that this transfer window is looking maybe like the best one since I think the window where we got Anderson and Nani and Hargreaves um, into the squad. So far so good.
Yeah, big up to both of you. Yeah, I understand in terms of we're more desperate than those two other clubs because they both got settled back four.
It's a desperate.
We are desperate. We are because we let Varane go, and then we got to me to you clowns there still. We got 30-something-year-old, 37-year-old Evans still here, which is ridiculous if you ask me. But big up. Fallout Toon says, Nuruddin, I'm more confused on what we're trying to do. Listen, tell me what you're confused about, and we'll try to answer it for you. But I want to get to some analysis. But I thought I might wait till we get Jarvis just to really pin down his attributes and what people think about him, and let people come in the gaff. So Jinder says, big up therapy. And let's discuss the elephant in the room. Eric Tenag, he knows he has the tools, and it's all down to his coaching abilities. If we're still in excitement this season, then we'll know the problem is him.
Sajinda, that's not a productive conversation.
Excrement. Listen, if we're still in the shit. No, listen. It's the point of view. That's what it is. Sorry, Sean. It's the point of view.
No, I get that it's a point of view.
Windy says the kid knows Rio very well. Oh, okay. Well, he was at the Champions League final. I know that at Wembley because he was a special guest of Real Madrid.
Yeah,
that's what you know what I mean. He was a guest of Real Madrid, and we know that he was at Wembley. But we'll see how he develops. I just think definitely he needs developmental coach. And any of the signings that we bought in, and I think I've talked about it loads. Me, Tom, and Sean can sign any players. We could sign any players, no problem. One thing what we can't do is that not have a plan for them. So all three of us could sign players, but the hard work is having a developmental plan. It's having a plan for these players, and that's what's missing for me. That's what's been missing for a long time. Manchester United in the past have been a graveyard shift for players, coaches, and everybody else. So the biggest test to me, what Ineos do, is how much that changes. That is where we're going to look at. But yeah, big up Ugate. Terms agreed. Yeah, looks like Rashford will now be getting the Ubers. Oh yeah. By the way, Marcus Rashford has been banned from driving for 6 months. 6 months ban. He basically was kind of what happened with him is that he was driving like crazy miles an hour on the motorway, and he went past the police car, unmarked police car, and he said he felt like he was being chased, which is an interesting defense. Apparently, McTominay could leave possibly Spurs. I don't know about that, fan. But yeah, we'll see. Last time I said McTominay was linked with Fulham. United are cooking something special. Well, yeah, the Giddy Army is out in full force.
We're cooking, Nuruddin. We're cooking.
Listen, we'll see what you're cooking at. Fabrizio for Man United working on outgoings. Casemiro, Scott McTominay to make room for new Ugate, keen on the move up to the big clubs. Evans is going to be a player coach. I don't know, Windy. That's the question we're going to talk about. But let's dive into what Yoro Toro is. So what kind of a player are we getting, people? Let's break it down. To me, Lenny Yoro, it's a young player. He's 18 years old. Apparently, he's made his debut when he at the age of 16. So it's going to be very interesting to see him coming into Manchester United. So in terms of what kind of centre back is he? He's a modern, in every sense of the word, like modern type of football. Modern football centre halves. He's in terms of like his skill set, both of possession and on with the ball, and he could, he's destined. Everybody's been talking about him. He's destined to be a great centre half, right? At the moment, the way he's been playing, the way that he's been playing lately for Lille, it's been the fact that he has been a player who basically is the cover defender. So out of the two defenders, two centre halves, you have one that attacks the ball and one that covers, right? Lenny Yoro is being the cover guy. He's the one who sweeps and covers and is there to help out his other centre half and other defenders. What I particularly like about him, when the ball goes out wide, actually, he's not afraid to engage. So when he wants to engage, he can engage. There are a couple of little details that are there. When strikers have got their back against him, literally, they find it very difficult to get the ball. He uses his physicality. He's 6'3". I think he's nearly the similar height as me. So you know what I mean. He's not that far. And I'm quite tall, people. Well, tallish, if you wanna know. He's gonna fill out. So I expect him to get really stronger, but he's already got the attributes of very good on the ball, very good at covering, very good at reading the play, very good at being patient, very good at covering, you know, making, you know, when the strikers make or wingers come closer to him, making the, you know, the sides, he can protect, defend the sides, not just central areas. He's not afraid to go out to the sides of the puck, which is vital and important. The way he engages, he's very clever. A lot of people said he goes to ground a lot. He's got extremely long legs, like myself, and he is very good at getting the ball away and getting the ball into touches. So the raw elements that are naturally gifted to him is already fantastic, right? But he's also got an incredible ceiling, and he has to develop with that ceiling. You know, he's going to develop with that ceiling. So in terms of what he's, big up Jarvis, thanks for joining us.
Big up.
Yeah. So in terms of what we talk about, the technical analysis of him, he's right-footed. He's very good in the central spaces, like I said. He's more controlled in his aggression. That's what I like. I don't like people who just, especially if you got somebody like Martinez, who's going to.
The Varane comparison is apt now. No, he's supposed to be, you know, just basically in the simplest terms, a younger, faster version of Varane. Obviously with less experience, so maybe a little more prone to mistakes.
Yeah, but he is. I actually think he's bigger than Varane. He's a lot bigger than Varane. So he is actually, for me, he's got a lot more higher ceiling than Varane. Varane at times, Varane is nowhere good as Yoro on the ball. Yoro is really good on the ball.
We can only hope that Yoro has, you know, as good a career as Varane.
Yeah,
as good
100%.
A career as Varane. Yeah.
No, 100%.
So if he has a higher ceiling, then that's wonderful.
He's, like I said, he's the covering centre back. He's there to help out the team. He is.
Yeah. There's one thing there's one thing though that I'm massively concerned about, and I understand because he's only 18. But this is what I talk about development. When he comes to this league, you're going to play against number 9s that are going to back into you. I understand the French league is completely different to the Premier League. France, they make drifting runs. It's not this direct balls.
But Tom, to be fair, listen. Other than Ivan Toney, what other really physically bullyish centre forwards are there in the Premier League?
Every centre. Well, let's put it this way.
Isaac is more. Listen. Let me list the top 6. Yeah, let me list the top 6.
Okay, go.
Strikers. Isaac for Newcastle is more of a technical footballer. He'll do you by skill.
Okay.
He'll beat you by skill. Spurs, they've got a Son who's more technical as well. He's not a guy who's going to bully you physically. Liverpool, even though they don't really play him in central areas, they play Nunes more out wide on the left-hand side than playing him that often centrally. It's going to be very interesting to see. But he's not a physically dominating guy. He's quick. He likes to have the ball in space, and he likes to run at you, right? So that's those 3. Chelsea have Jackson, who's not really super physical. He's not a guy who's going to be fighting. He's again more faster, want to beat you with skill. And who am I missing? Arsenal have bloody what's his name? Havertz, who's good in the air. He's deceptively really good in the air, but he's not physically. That's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah,
so when I look at the top 6, in the league, I don't see the only really physical is 2 players: Calvin Lewis for Everton and Tony. They're the 2 that come to mind. Do you, Jarvis?
Yeah, I have more. Yeah, Watkins is physical. I would say.
No. But he's not.
I would
say no. Jarvis.
Darwin Nunes is physical. There's a lot of strikers who's physical.
These players,
the very technical. Is Chris Woods on the.
They're very technical players. They're very technical players, but the difference is if the manager wants them to play it, they'll back into centre halves. And when they
No,
look
no,
at
no.
this kid, no, let me finish. When they look at this kid, right, next to Lissandro Martinez, if you back into Martinez, you already know what you're going to do. He's going to go straight through the back here, and he's either going to get the ball or he's going to put you on the floor. This kid, from what I've seen anyway, he's a clean tackler of the ball. He either wins the ball clean. If he has to pull a foul, I've seen him pull fouls for Lille, from what I've seen anyway. The difference that I'm saying is, when you play against teams who, when they're going to look at your back line, where can we see the weakness? They're going to put pressure on this kid because he's 18 years old, he's new to the league, it's a completely different environment for him from what he's ever been in before, and we don't know how he's going to react to it. We all said this when we signed Martinez at the first time in the season. It was the first time we ever had a player who wasn't scared of somebody backing into them. Maguire, he takes 2 backward steps before he even used to attack the ball. Now, he does attack the ball. It doesn't matter if he gets the player, collateral damage, whatever. Lindelof is Lindesoft. We've already said this about him. He doesn't go to direct the ball.
I promise
this
you.
is my
Tom,
issue.
Tom, I promise you. Tom, I promise you. Let me just finish this to you.
When he bulks up, I'll agree with you.
Listen to me. This kid, after the Premier League, the French league is the most physical and in terms of intensity and speed. You know that. People don't know that, do they? That's why players who come from there actually thrive in the Premier League. Players who sign from the La Liga come to Premier League. It's not too dissimilar. What I'm saying to you is that this kid is not some scrawny kid. He's actually 18 already, and he's physically imposing, and he's going to fill out even more to get even more physical. I'm not worried about his physicality.
I want to see it develop, though. That's the thing. I want to see it
100%.
Because this league, they're going to look at us, and that's going to be the weakness that they're going to try and pick out, Dino. Because they understand Shaw's an experienced player. He knows what he's doing. Martinez, experienced player. Delo, he's been in this league long enough now. Experienced player. This kid is fresh. He's the new kid on the block. He's supposedly going to be a star boy player. They're going to want to put pressure on him because of the age difference, because of the inexperience of it. That's what they're going to do.
Tom,
and physicality will come into it when you play certain teams more
but
so.
But the physicality point, right? I think we have to.
Listen, the 3 strikers that you named, it's Tony, it's Woods, and Calvin Lewis. They're the 3.
You wouldn't say Haaland's going to do that to him in the derby.
Who's that?
Erling Haaland. You don't think Darwin Núñez is going to do that?
This is a purely theoretical argument that we're having now,
Haaland
right?
likes the ball to feet, bro. He's not a guy who's going to go get the ball up there, so I'm going to fight. Tony uses physicality. The thing about the Villa guy, he actually plays on the shoulder. He likes to run. He doesn't like to have physical contact. Watkins is not a physical guy. He likes to have the get away from defenders, use his speed and cleverness to make those runs in behind.
No, but even if he was...
I'm not worried about the physicality of this kid. To me, I think on the ball, 92%, right, passing accuracy. His aerial duels, well, that's the thing he will have to improve, Tom. This is where I agree with you. In the Premier League, a lot more balls are crossed than any other league. When
players are backing up, Dino, they play the long ball. He's not good in the air, as you've just said there.
No. Let me read you out. Listen, let me read you out. In 2023-24, Yoro has had the best aerial duel success rate, 67%, right? At Lille, it's the 5th best in League R. So he's 18, right? And he's already the 5th best ahead of him in the ball. In Liga, they cross the ball. They go wide and cross the ball. It's like I said to you, if you look at the football that the French Liga is playing, and you look at the Premier League, it's so similarity. It's unbelievable. It's so similar. So he is already the 5th best in Ligue 1, right? So that to me shows that yes, there are something to it. He has to definitely improve, right?
Yeah.
But the stature of him already, he's there. His timing is really
the quality,
good, right?
though, Dino. Yeah, Dino. The quality week in, week out in Liga in comparison to the Premier League is completely different.
No, of course.
When you play in France and you go on a wet, rainy night in Paris at the PSG, you can say it for either way about an atmosphere or not. Or you can play Montpellier. What the next week? Would there be that much of an atmosphere, Montpellier, Lille? Probably not. When you go as Manchester United to any ground in the Premier League, whether it's let's use St James's Park as the example, right? whenever we've gone up there in the last couple
Yeah,
of
but
years,
Tom,
guys,
nothing is
the
guaranteed in
environment
football
has
now.
swallowed these players up. The difference
Tom,
is he's not been put in that situation, so we don't know how he's going to react. The only thing I'm saying is, with the age that he is at, and yeah, he's top 5 on the listings for aerial duels and all these statistics, guys, that is in league earn. The Premier League is completely different.
No,
Some players,
listen,
they come to this league and they
but it's
adapt,
the closest
or
league.
they don't.
Liga is
It's
the
make or
closest league
break.
in Europe, though. But Tom, that counts for something. Liga is the closest league in Europe to
Yeah,
to
but we
physical
have to
Premier
develop
League.
him. We have to
No,
develop him properly,
Listen,
and he has to be
listen.
prepared for what's
I'm
going
just
to happen
listen.
in this league to him.
I think Tom, you're misunderstanding me. I'm not saying this kid is the complete player. I agree with you, and I don't know why we're arguing.
No,
because
he's got the potential to be. He's got the potential. He's got potential to
he's
be, but
already
he's not
got
right
the
now.
raw minerals to then to improve because he's gonna grow out. He's 18. You don't stop growing till you're 21 or 22, right? He's gonna grow out. He's gonna bulk more, right? But the physicality is something that I'm not worried about. He's actually really good at defending the channels. He's clever. That's what I'm saying to you. We're talking about the IQ of a young player.
Yeah, people said it about Martinez as well.
Yeah, the IQ of a young player is that he is got the IQ minerals. So that's why I would say to you. So passing, he is one of the best on the ball. One of the best on the ball, yeah, right? In terms of defending the channels, he's one of the best. So technically, he's really good. But he's actually also very good at bringing the ball out, breaking the lines. He's got very quick feet. He literally gets past people, dribbles past them, and then gives the ball to a player, patches the ball forward. So all of these different things for me says that he is going to actually, if he's looked after properly, and now we've got football structure. We didn't have it before. Now we've got football structure. We're going to ask, but Jarvis, I want to let Jarvis come in. Jarvis, we've signed Lenny Yoro.
Yep.
We're welcoming him into Manchester United. My only thing that I think we slightly overpaid for him because he only had 1 year left on his contract. If you want to believe the reports we've paid, £52 million. That's how much.
No. It's 42 plus 10.
No. If you look at Simon Stone of the BBC, he says we've paid 68. Right?
Well, are we talking pounds or euros now? Because it's 70 euros total with add-ons, but it's 52 pounds, 52 million pounds with
that's how much we paid
with add-ons. Yeah.
Is that with add-ons?
With add-ons, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's 42 plus 10. So we will pay 10 million in add-ons.
Simon Stone, listen, go on Twitter, have a look at what Simon Stone said. Just go have a look at what Simon Stone. But I'll get your reaction as well. What do you think about the player?
Yeah, I read his stats. You know, he's a young player, so it's hard to say. He plays in France. It's hard to compare. I get your point when it comes to physicality, but for me, I don't think the Premier League is a physical league anymore as it used to be. It's more technical, and it's more about the smartness of the players because the strikers are much smarter now. They know how to get on the center backs. It's not about physicality. It's about movement and about quickness and about doing the right things. And when I see, for example, videos of Lenny Yoro, one thing caught my mind was how he plays out from the back. Sometimes you see videos of him brilliantly dribbling the striker and moves and drives the ball forward. But how he do it, he feints a long pass in one way and drives the ball the other way and drives it upwards. And that is very naive. It will never work in the Premier League. So he has to adapt and mature his game a lot. I see people cheering on, but if you look on it with your eyes, you never see Premier League centre backs do that in that way. It's too simplistic. Maybe it works in France, but it doesn't. It will never work in the Premier League. So he needs to mature. He needs to adapt to the gameplay against grown men. You know, he played 80 games in France, but it's not the same league, nowhere near. So for me, I'm very excited. I see his talent. He's fantastic, driving up forward, defending high, aggressive. And the best thing, I think, is his interceptions, how he reads the game. He's very smart. I think he's brilliant reading the game, so he intercepts the ball a lot. He has long legs. I don't like that he puts his ass on the ground all the time, tackling, because I think you need to be more composed to play in the Premier League. I think he will be easily fooled, I would say, or run through. If you sit down on your ass, you need to stay on your feet. So we need to adapt this game to be more mature. But without a doubt, one of the best center back talents in the world. I think it will come good, but we can't expect too much this first season. My biggest worry now is I see people want us to sign another 18-year-old in João Neves, and they don't want to sign this Ugate guy. You know, Ugate is similar to Paulinho, a guy who will be a destroyer in front of the defense. So for me now, the most important player to get in is Ugate, because I think he will help out the central defense by being the shield. Because we have been seeing this in United in a lot of years. No shield in front of the center backs. They are exposed always, 1-against-1, 1-against-2. But we need someone to protect them.
It's also due to the way we play.
Yeah, it is. But not only with Ten Hag, but with Solskjaer,
of course, yeah. I mean, we had Fred and McTominay. Come on, guys who had zero awareness, could never play that position properly, who were never scanning. The thing about Ugate is that he's 23 years old, but his ball playing ability is not really that good. Subamendi, Neves is people that buy. Big up Jamie Wayne. He says, Nordin, would you take Ugate, mate? By the way, how you been, brother? Listen, I had a death in my family, so I've been. Oh, I'm really sorry for your loss, man.
Right.
Really, really sorry. R.I.P. And may they rest in eternal peace to your family member. You don't need to, you know what I mean? It's just good to see you, bro. Good to see you.
Big up, Jamie.
One thing is awaiting all of us is, but big up to you, Jamie, man. Our solidarity and our love, our condolences is with you and your family. We're really sorry for your loss. Big up to you. Subamendi, I'll definitely take Subamendi. Somebody said to me something before about, I wanted to go double back. They said they were really confused about something. Fallout. Let me just see. Fallout Tunes. He said he's confused about something, but he's not written what he's confused about. People, please smash a like on the video. Obviously, we're shadow banned. That's why it doesn't let people know that we're live. One of the things about shadow ban is that it doesn't take people that are live. We're not even 100 people here because it doesn't let people know. But we're happy to have that consequences. We're going to shout for people's freedom, or we're always going to shout that. 100%. Yeah, I'm giving Erik Ten Hag, to succeed on the proper structure. 100%. That's why I'm saying to you, G123, there's no excuses anymore. There's no excuses in terms of players not being developed. There's no all of this. There's no excuses.
That's not giving him a chance now.
No, I am giving him a chance. I want him. So they've chosen him. They could have hired another manager. They picked him. They still wanted to stick with him. And they've done what they need, what they've done. So what they need to do now is both of them to compromise with each other and work as a team. And I wish them both nothing but success, because that means if they're both successful, Manchester United are fucking successful. And as a fan, I'm happy. But if I see what I'm seeing, to me, I'm not even going to blame that much Erik Ten Hag. The blame is wholly on Ineos, because they need to back him. They picked their man. They now need to go out and back him. I'm a believer in that. They have to go and back him.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it looks like they're backing him now, no? Right?
Yeah.
Like, so the moves that we've made so
well, we're
far.
going to see, listen, we signed 2 players, and you would think that we fucking signed 10 players the way some of the fan base are moving. But here and there, you know what it is, isn't it? It's never a balancing with a fan base.
It's worthy of being excited. As I mentioned to you before, United are showing a level of competence in the market that we've not seen in a long time. I don't want to say before. These 2 signings, I think, were focused and they were executed quickly under the wraps, without too much noise or drama. In the media. These are 2 young players, with Yoro specifically, one of the hottest prospects basically generally around. A player that United would not have been in the market for, in the past, or we would not have been able to get before in the past. So, if he's supposed to come and replace Varane, I think that gives Ten Hag an advantage, because Ten Hag's ideal starting lineup is with Varane and Martinez, and we play much better with both of them playing. If Yoro is going to swap in, for Varane, I think that immediately gives Ten Hag a platform from the back, at least, to do what he wants to do. I would like us to also sign Delete. I think we need to have another centre back there, even though I'm fine with, Maguire and Lindelof. Personally, I'm fine with them being backup centre backs because I expect Yoro to be, being an 18-year-old,
Say,
to be
say,
fit
say, that-
for.
say that again, Sean. Are you fine with Lindelof and Maguire?
I'm
Really?
fine with them as squad players.
Oh,
Wow.
no.
Honestly, if Yoro and
Wow.
Martinez
You
are
don't
going to be
even
Listen,
believe
starting,
in
listen.
yourself.
That's why we're never getting out of this rock, because we've got fans like Sean who are ready to
no,
fucking, to me, to you. Listen, I've seen them both
look, are
for
you
a
are
long,
you are
long
you are
time.
you
I'm
listening to what
sorry.
I'm
No,
saying,
I'm not. I'm
Nuruddin?
not. Sean, I'm not. Because
Okay,
last
then
season,
that's the problem
no, I'm
now.
sorry, Sean. I'm sorry. I am listening. Last season, we've had fucking everybody and their nan play centre half. So no, I'm
No,
not.
I'm
I
not.
want
I'm
them
not saying
gone.
we should
And
make
I
it
need
a
to listen to me.
merry-go-round.
Sean,
I'm
Sean,
saying Lenny
Sean, let me
Yoro and
finish.
Martinez are
Sean,
my ideal
Sean,
starting
I
lineup.
didn't. Sean, I
But if we're
didn't
going to have
interrupt
players
you.
on the bench, I
Sean,
don't
man,
mind
come on.
having Maguire on the
Sean,
bench
can we
or
not do
Lindelof
this,
on the
please?
bench.
Sean,
What?
can we not do this? Let's not do this, bro. Right? You say something, I say something, then you rebuttal that, then I say something. So, to me, Maguire and Lindelof can go to hell. Right? I'm sick of the sight of those two. The level of
I mean, come
incompetence.
on.
The level. No, Jarvis? Am I lying? The level of incompetence.
Yeah.
The way they've been playing is horrendous. Manchester United need to go out, and if they want to play, they want to go and play this high line football. They need to go and get defenders that are actually competent at playing a high line and are
Wait,
better on the
are we
ball
talking
than
about the
Harry
Man
Maguire
United
and
that we will
Lindelof.
see in 3 weeks, or the Man United of the future, like
No,
a
no, no,
future
no.
Man
Now
United?
you start at the back. You start
So,
listen to me. Let
in
me
your
say. Let me.
mind,
Sean,
United can sell
Sean,
both
I'm not finished yet.
Maguire
Sean,
and Lindelof this window and
Sean,
sign 2 new centre
Sean,
backs. Is that what you
Sean,
guys are trying to tell me?
Sean, I'm not finished yet. So I'll explain to you. So if you're gonna do a proper rebuild, right, and you're gonna have something to go forward, you start off at the back. Last season, the centre half was a problem, right? That was the big fucking problem at Manchester United, because we had injuries to Varane sometimes, and majority of the season, Lisandro Martinez was not there. The problem, what I'm saying to you, the backup have not been sufficiently good enough. So what you go and do now is get rid of them, buy backups who are better than them. You can find in football better backup defenders than Harry Maguire and Lindelof. But people like you want to hold on to this thing. Now, I want you to come back, but hold your tongue. I'll let Jarvis in. Jarvis, if anything I'm saying is wrong, please support Sean and tell me I'm wrong. But people, please smash a like on the video. There's only 100 of you in here. No, we need to get giddy. We're not getting giddy yet. I'm not getting giddy of 2 signings. Genuinely. Yes, it's in July. Last season, we had 2 players, Unana and Mason Mount. Yeah, both of them were on a trip to the US. So let's not get too overexcited. They've not done something that's amazing. One thing that they've done is pivoted straight away. Braithwaite, it was going to take time with Everton. The late Bayern Munich are doing what they're doing. Tadibo was the guy that we wanted, and the part owner of Manchester United, Jim Ratcliffe, came out and said, "Hey, what is this UEFA rule? I'm against this UEFA rule. We can't sign Tadibo. What the hell is going on here?" And so then that means that we can't sign Tadibo. I think we should sign Tadibo, but just for the Premier League, because apparently we can't sign him because we're playing in the same competition as him, which is the Europa League, which is BS. It's a BS rule, if you ask me. So, for me, they've quickly pivoted, even though if they're slightly overpaid, because the figure, tell me the figure you've got, Jarvis, again one more time. Because I'll tell you the figure.
I think it's 42 plus 10 million pounds. So 42 is the sum plus 10 in add-ons, so 52 in total.
Okay. Well,
people in the chat look it up and confirm. Yeah. Or
what Simon Stone is saying of the BBC is totally a wrong figure, and it's the same thing. Ornstein said exactly the same figure. But so for me, I'm not getting too giddy excited. I think the midfield needs to be fixed next. I definitely think we need to get 2 midfield players. I definitely think Manchester United needed 2 centre halves. Obviously, we let Kombala go. You know what I mean? We let Varane go. That's 2 gone, so we needed 2. But I personally think I'm happy to wait to the end of the window to get out Lindelof and Maguire and to bring in 2 other backup centre halves. That's what we
I think we
need.
can probably only sell
Who
one
are
of
the
those
modern
guys.
profile, Jarvis, who are the modern profile, because they're certainly not the type of football that Manchester United want to play. But go ahead, Sean. Or
I
Jarvis,
think we
go
can
ahead. And
probably
then
only
Sean.
sell one of
1
those
second.
guys.
No, it's Jarvis, and then you go ahead. Go ahead, Jarvis, and then just Sean.
Yeah, I'm just looking up. I think it's 42 million pounds plus 10 add-ons for Lenny Yoro. And there's been a lot of conflicting prices, and people misunderstands pounds and euros and stuff like that. So no wonder. But I'm pretty sure it's 42 plus 10. But for me, I agree with you, Nordin.
Where are you getting that from? Where are you getting that from? That figure?
Well, it's on Twitter. And I heard it on some channel yesterday and today. So well, doesn't matter. I'm not the accountant of Man United. But the thing is,
are you sure, Jarvis? You sure you're not an accountant?
but the thing, I agree with you, Nordin. We need to be strong in the back, and we don't know from 1 year of injury or more than 1 year. Can we really rely on him coming back and play next season, the full next season? We got to remember we have Europa League. That's, if we go all the way, that's 17 games with the new concept of Europa League. We have I would say 6 to 7 games in the FA Cup, same amount in the League Cup. That adds up to 40 games just in cups, and we have 38 games in the league or something like that. So we are about to play almost 70 games in a way next season. Can we rely on Martinez? What I would like us to sign 2 or 3 strong center backs, so we don't have to rely on Martinez. Even if Martinez is out for 20 games, we won't be a weaker team. We will be as strong, and that's the only way we can compete. So we got to be sensible about this, because I don't trust Luke Shaw. I don't trust Martinez because of injuries. Brilliant player, Martinez, but will he be injured again? I don't know.
So Jarvis, I would also like us to sign 2 or 3 strong defenders. Like I would like that as well. I think where I differ from you guys is I don't think that's going to happen. So what I was saying is that if we have to go into this coming season with one of Lindelof or Maguire, I don't mind having either of them still in the squad. I also said before that I would like us to sign Delete. My ideal transfer window has us sign 5 players, 2 centre backs, 1 striker, and 2 midfielders. That would be my ideal situation. We've done 2 out of the 5 that I need. So I also need 1 more centre back and 2 midfielders for me to feel like we're going into the season, as strong as and as prepared as we need to. So yeah, definitely, I think we need another centre back. I'm worried about Yoro as well. I think he's kind of young, inexperienced, also in the Premier League and generally. Then again, if you're good enough, you're old enough, and we're seeing in football a lot of young players that are playing important roles in their squad. It seems to be a new model that many clubs are following. Just stacking their team with young players pretty much from back to front. The Madrid attacking lineup is young. The core of Madrid's midfield is young. Tchouaméni, Camavinga, and the likes.
Yeah,
Barca
but they still have Modric and Cruz. They have
no, yes,
some people bringing the experience.
No, yeah, I 1,000% I agree. And United is in a tricky position, which is why I think fans need to be. I mean, I think that's part of the reason why we kept Evans. I think that's an argument in my favor when I say we should keep one of Maguire or Lindelof, because you need that. Also, I think that's also part of the reason why Ericsson might still be around. So the manager has a difficult role, and the club themselves also are in an interesting position where they need to invest in the next 3 or 4 years, which is what somebody like Lenny Yoro and Xerxes is with Garnacho and Meno and all these guys. You need to invest in players that come 3 years later, when if everything goes according to plan, we are competing. It's hopefully those guys that we're counting on. It's those guys that are the ones who are making the waves and are the star players, both for United as a club and for their individual countries. So I know everyone wants to think about all the ways it could possibly go wrong. I think, I'm excited. I think we should be excited about, the prospects basically for the club.
But Sean,
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but
No, go ahead, yeah.
we are buying Lenny Yoro. He's a great prospect, and we are buying the potential of Lenny Yoro. And the same, we have the potential of Mainu. He's not fully bloomed and yet. He's a brilliant player, but he can achieve more. And the thing is, I think we need to think, okay, they are brilliant talents, but how do we push them to be better, greater? And for example, Lenny Yoro, if we keep Lindelof and Maguire, how will he be pushed to be a better center back? If he plays with those two mediocre, I don't know what to call them, but we need someone to push Lenny Yoro. That's why we have to sign De Ligt, Matthijs De Ligt. He will be a perfect, because that will mean that Lenny Yoro won't start every game. He will be put on the bench, and Ten Hag can actually say to Lenny Yoro, "You're not good enough in the moment. You need to perform better if you want to be part of the squad, if you want to be part of the team, because Matthijs De Ligt is performing much, much better than you." So this is what I would like us to do: sign good players in those positions where we have young players, just to push them even further.
So I agree with you 1,000%, and I would even take it a step further and say, United, we can probably realize more value from Maguire than we can from Lindelof. So there's a higher chance that Maguire will be the one to go, because we've sold Greenwood now, we sold Kamboala. I think there's going to be one or two other players to go, and we can probably get more money for Maguire than we can for Lindelof. So Maguire will probably be out of the door, and hopefully, with a few more sales, we can bring in De Ligt, because I love the fact that De Ligt De Ligt has been like a unicorn for United for a couple of years now. And if he can finally come around, it will be lovely. And I agree with the scenario you just described. In fact, I will take it a step further and say, if De Ligt is fit, for me, he starts over
Lenny Yoro.
Lenny Yoro, yeah. And that would be my ideal centre back pairing, De Ligt and Martinez. And Yoro can be the one that comes in every now and then. So yeah, the so far I've been impressed, like, with the way we're moving. I think it's good that they're taking care of these signings early on in the season as opposed to later. And hopefully we get more signings before we travel. I would like us to have like 2 more signings, before they come to the US, so that we can fully embed the team. It looks like they mean business. I like Rude is around. The other guy that they brought in, is around. Let's get rid of whoever. Yeah. Yeah. Let's get rid of whoever we need to get rid of, so that there's no any bad energy of, oh, I'm not really supposed to be here. I don't really want to be here. Let's kill all of that, like, before we get on the road. Do your transfer business and then lock in for the season, and that's what I want to see.
Yeah, I totally agree. But we do have 2 deals that's very close, and that's Matthijs De Ligt and Ugate. As the latest reports, we have agreed on terms with Ugate, so we just have to agree with PSG what will be the transfer. And we have been hearing about the loan deal, but we know PSG needs money because they want to sign João Neves from Benfica, and he will be expensive. We are talking about 70 to 80 millions for a young kid who's 18 years of age. So for me, it will be difficult to sign both, but I hope that we can get Ugarte. I think we need that destroyer in front of our center backs, and it will make getting Lenny Yoro into the team much easier, because we need someone to protect them. In a way, so I hope we can get those 2 signings before they go on the US tour, and I think that will be it. Maybe 1 left back. That's my hope. I know Nuruddin has been speaking about the left back a long time, and because you don't trust Luke Shaw, and Malacia is still injured, or is he back, or is he on another operation? No one knows.
He's training. He's doing 1-to-1. Just him and the coach. I've seen the photos of him at Old Trafford training ground, but he's not training with the main group. He's training alone.
Yeah. But wouldn't you like to sign a left fullback?
100%. What do you think about this kid? Kodaloglu. You like Kodaloglu for Turkey? Did you like him?
Kadioglu, yeah, Kadioglu, he looks good, but he's very versatile. The only problem with him is right-footed. I wouldn't like a right-footed left fullback, because when we play, we have inverted wingers, and we need someone who come on the
He goes
outside.
on the outside naturally,
and
can
it
whip the ball
won't
in.
be.
Yeah.
I can see Kadioglu as a replacement for Wan-Bissaka if you sell
Gutierrez
him.
is the guy that I want. Gutierrez.
Yeah.
Gutierrez
Yeah.
for
He's great.
Girona.
He's great.
I wouldn't
and
waste.
apparently,
I wouldn't
and
waste
guess what? Apparently, his release clause he's worth. They value him at 25 million. I'm like, what the fuck are we waiting for?
Ooh.
Yes.
25
million pounds. Yeah.
Mm.
Like 30-something euros. 30.
I wouldn't waste that kind of money on a left back right now. I think if I was prioritizing positions, I wouldn't spend any money on left or right back. Only centre backs in defense.
Why do you want your boy Luke Shaw, the coward, back? Yeah. The guy who
I mean,
Mr. Burger King, yeah.
Again,
McDonald's.
I'm probably going to disappoint.
KFC, Mr. Uber
I'm probably going to disappoint you and
Mr.
Jarvis.
Deliveroo.
I think Luke Shaw is one of the best left backs and or footballers. Yeah, when fit in the world. And I would keep him. I would keep him at United. Like whenever you're fit, Luke, don't worry. As long as you're not causing any problems in the dressing room, we're going to get by. When you're fit, Luke, we love you. You can play. If you love us too, let's go. Like, we're in this together, and you can play. Let's play. You can be here all your life. So Luke Shaw, you can become a United. Even if you don't become a proper legend, you can become a cult hero. You can have moments in your career when we need you. If the team is better, if the team around Luke Shaw is better, I think we'll see.
Sean, let me just give you some facts. In total, as of the 21st of March, I'm just Googling, Shaw has had 24 injuries at Man United. He subsequently had 1,230 days out and missed 253 games in the process and counting.
Sure. I mean,
are we dumb? Are we doing the same mistake over and over again and believing now we will come good?
No. What mistake is that now? Right. So we're going into this, and at least what I'm saying is that we're going into this with our eyes open. So taking what you're saying as fact, taking the amount of time that Luke Shaw will be available into consideration. Do I still want Luke Shaw around? Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And when he's fit, I want him to play. When he's not fit, we need to have cover. And hopefully Malaysia can get back to full fitness in time. Hopefully Ten Hag is brave enough to bring in Harry Amas. Hopefully the team is stable enough to accommodate Amrabat or left back or somebody else at left back. Hopefully the rest of the team is stable enough to do that. But I want Luke Shaw in the team. I want Luke Shaw in Man United.
Amrabat is not a United player at the moment.
Oh,
He's
right,
not
that's
training.
true.
We haven't signed him.
But yeah, hopefully the team is stable enough to accommodate whoever comes in to substitute when Luke Shaw is not there, if it's not Malaysia. What I'm saying is that I think for me, Luke Shaw is good enough to keep around so that whenever he's available, he should play. I think Luke Shaw is that good. And if he's not a problem in the dressing room, he's not on an exorbitant wage either. He's not on ridiculous 350 or whatever wages either. He's an experienced player. He's been around for a long time. If he's not causing problems in the dressing room, I would keep him around, knowing fully well his fitness and injury problems. I don't have a problem with Luke Shaw being in the squad. I think the Manchester United that I grew up watching had many such players who were injury prone, but when they were called upon, when they were fit and available, they played important roles in our history. We had many players that were, up until they got so when Luke Shaw gets in, how old is Luke Shaw now? I think he's turning 30 or 30, early 30s or so now. When he gets into the age, where he's proper, old and ready to move on to Leicester, so we sell him, right? If he doesn't retire at United, but yeah,
he's 29 years old, by the way.
29. I think he's getting to the prime of his footballing career. I wouldn't spend money on a left back. I think if we have limited funds, I'll prioritize centre back in defense, defensive midfield, and up front in terms of strikers. I wouldn't waste money on either flank, whether it's left, right in defense, left, right in attack. I think our spine is where we need to invest from top to bottom.
Yeah, Jarvis, I think I found I have found that the link. So apparently, including add-ons, is 70 million euros, which is 58 million pounds.
58,
right. 58
okay.
million pounds,
58, okay.
58. That's the whole package. But it's, listen, for me, I genuinely do think we do need to get rid of Deadwood. We need to clear players who have proven yet again and again that are not reliable. I 100% believe, like you said, Luke Shaw, all the injuries that he's had, he's not to be relied on. And then we go and buy another left back who's even more injury prone. That's what's gone for the whole season. So it's absolutely ridiculous. I just need a competent left back. Gutierrez is 20-something odd million. It doesn't have to be a lot. And it's not 70 million. It's not 90 million. And you watched him at Girona, Jarvis.
Yep.
You know his capability. We need to go and get that player. I'm done.
If you had to choose, Nuruddin, would you choose another centre back or a left back?
I know, a left back, because I think the left back gives you so much balance on that left hand side. We showed how many players. Let me finish this.
So we'll keep Maguire and Lindelof.
No. Let me finish the point. No, we can sell one of them. So one of them, two of them for me probably will go. But if one of them stays and we get a left back, I'm happy with that. But only because I think a left back is so. But last season we played Lindelof as a left back, Wan-Bissaka as a left back, Diego Dalot as a left back, Amrabat as a left back. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous to have played 4 different players out of position and you expect to have a balance. No, sorry. You're not having any balance. But in terms of the breakdown, does anybody else want to break down a little bit more of the attributes? Do you want me to continue? Because I've done my scouting report. I've made notes here. On the build-up play, Yoro is very good. Like I said, he's very good at dribbling. I think he's more comfortable in that league. But obviously, the Premier League, you don't get any space. It's exactly the same thing what I said about Xerxes. Xerxes, his touch is first brilliant. I mean, if you compare Xerxes' touch to Lukaku's first touch, oh my God, worlds apart. But the space to move, the Premier League, the space is condensed really quickly. And you're not given that amount of time. So it's going to be very interesting to see that. The midfielders that I would like, if we get in Ugate, and we've agreed personal terms with Ugate, I'm not paying 50 million for Ugate, by the way. I'll walk away from the deal. I'll walk away from the deal. I'm not paying 50 million euros for him. He, at the most, is worth
euros.
30 million euros, 35 to 40 million euros. That's what he's worth. He's not worth more than that. Because a player of his age, his profile is good at, being a stopper, the kind of stopper that we need. But I need for me to buy you for 50 million, you need to be fantastic on the ball. You need to be brilliant on the ball. And he's not that brilliant. Supermendi is the guy who came in the final we all watched, the Europa final. And he came on and looked incredible. He's 25 years old. But big up to Alien Tenor. Alien Tenor is telling us that Fish, who's 21 now, Collier, who's 20, both of them have been promoted to the first team squads. So we can, if you want, because what's the point of having them there if they're not using them as a backup centre backs? What's the point of having them there if you're not going to play them and test them? So I'd rather let Maguire and Lindelof go and get somebody else. I would get somebody who can also play as a left back as well. A left-sided centre half, another one, like I said, 3, like you said, Jarvis, who can play as a left back as well, filling, who's naturally left-footed. That's who I like.
Yeah, we're in the markets for somebody. I think I can't remember the guy's name, but some right back who can also play left back. Somebody that can play on.
It's Kadioglu, the guy from Turkey.
Yeah, but we want a left-footed. We want left-footed.
But he's right-footed.
He's right-footed. We want a naturally left-footed. Like I said, Gutierrez is the guy. Am I saying his name right, Gutierrez?
Yeah, he's Gutierrez.
Yeah, Gutierrez is brilliant. I also like the kid, the Hungarian kid who plays at Bournemouth.
Yeah, Kirkes.
Yeah, Kirkes. I do like him. Even though I do think I like my left backs to be slightly taller so that they can defend the back post. You know what I mean? I don't really like too small. I mean, the thing that what people are shocked at, Patrice Evra was fantastic in the air. He could leap. He was really good in the air for a short guy. So yeah, it's a different kind of. But in terms of midfielder, what midfielder other than Ugate are you looking for?
If you're asking me, I would like
am
to
I
baller.
banned? G123 said, "Are you banned?" No, you're not banned. Why do you think you're banned? You cannot be banned if you're here. You're still here, G. You're still here, man. You're not banned. Go ahead, Jarvis.
If you want a tall fullback, you can go for Dumfries. He's actually quite good in the air. You saw him in the World Cup for Netherlands, but I think he's a right back, not a left back. So he will be a replacement for Wan-Bissaka if we sign him. But yeah, for me, I would like a technical midfielder because I want someone to push Kobe. Because I don't want Kobe to be complacent and stop his development in a way. I want someone to push him to be even better. And we need to rest him. That kid, he played so many games last season. Only being available since Christmas. And he will be burned out. We need someone to come in and fill in for Kobe Mainu because we need a baller, someone. And Christian Eriksen is not it. He has lost his pace.
You're talking my language. I really genuinely want him to have a proper holiday. I need him to come back in and for the first couple of months really bulk up, to really fill out, be refreshed, for him to come in. I would like him to be playing a game here or there, taking out. I want that proper development. That's what I'm looking to. People like fucking Wilcox and Dan Ashworth. That's what I'm looking to these guys. That you can't overplay, and that the biggest thing that Erik ten Hag needs to change if Manchester United are going to be successful next season, Jarvis, is what? Row fucking tape. Row tape. Row 100%. Fucking tape. Like you said, we're already penciled in to be playing 70 games with the amount of games that have been added to the Europa League. How many games have been added to the Europa League?
It's 8 games in the first league because we play against eight other teams. So we'll be home or away, not home and away. So we will be a league. And if we go through, it will be maximum 17 games if we go to the final. Or it can even be 19 games if we come into a play. Or if we come into a playoff. We can come into a playoff if we come in, I don't know, third in the group or something.
That is fucking
it will be a madness. And we have 7 games in the FA Cup, 6 in the League Cup. We have the Charity Shield this season. It will be a lot of games. Yeah. We need to rotate.
The idea, what do you think about the people who are saying that we might not need another midfielder because the technical midfielder, Jarvis, is the guy who's going to threaten Kobe's position? We already have him. His name is Mason Mount.
Of course.
Yeah.
What do you think to that? No, 1 second. I'll ask Jarvis that. What do you think to that, Jarvis? Do you think?
I don't know when it comes to Mount. I've seen clips of him being brilliant, but I don't know. He's a big question mark. Will
By
it
the
be
way, Jarvis,
like a new signing?
Yeah, Jarvis, you're perfectly well to tell us. Tell us about the team Manchester United played, obviously. Rosenberg. What they're called?
Rosenborg.
Is it the famous Rosenberg that the winger?
Yeah. They qualified for the Champions League in the mid 90s to mid 2000s.
That team, it's that team. Yeah.
They beat Real Madrid. They beat AC Milan.
Blomqvist's team, yeah.
Yeah, they were brilliant. They had a lot of good players. John Carew, if you remember him.
Yeah, Carew,
what a player. Yeah.
He was really good in the Premier League. Played for Villa.
Yeah.
But did you watch the game, Jarvis? What did you see of the game? Obviously, it's the first game.
I have to be honest, I didn't watch much and I don't pay much attention because for me, it's just a televised training session. You can't tell much from the only thing you can tell is what type of youngsters get game time and who will Ten Hag most likely give a chance next season. But, players in training, they have been running like hell the last 2 weeks. Their legs are like heavy. They're like cement. You can't read anything out of that game, if you ask me. But when we come to the last couple of games before the Charity Shield, you can read more of the game. But you got to remember also Rosenborg, in the mid-season now. Every player is in great shape, and they are playing Man United. So it's like a extra cup final for them. So they gave everything to win that game.
And also, they're already how many games into their season?
17 or 18 games into their season.
So midway through the season, yeah.
Midway, yeah.
Yeah. So they're already very fit. Yeah, very fit. Yeah, big up. I think the goalkeeper, that's one people were mostly impressed with. Was leave it that the goalkeeper was fantastic. Yeah, Sean, do you see Mason Mount as being the guy to threaten Kobe's position?
Yeah, I think for me, the way I'm assessing this team right for next season is based on the amount of players I think we can sign. And I said 5 before, right? I think Mason Mount, Kobe, and Fernandez can be used interchangeably in the same type of position. Obviously, they all have where they're best at. Kobe is better deeper, and Bruno is better more up front. But I think you can kind of like rotate those three.
Kobe's better deeper? Is he?
I think so. I think Kobe's better deeper than up
Kobe's the
front.
playmaker. Kobe, naturally, for me, I believe is the playmaker. He's
Deeper
more,
than Bruno.
and he could be more of a number 10 if he was given that. If Bruno would move out the way, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, I disagree. So I think those three of them can be used interchangeably. And for me, I would like to get either another DM or a box-to-box type midfielder. I think we need legs in a midfield. We need people that's in a hard day against Man City or whoever. We need a midfielder that can cover yards and is also decent on the ball. So I would invest in, if not another type of Ugate. But another player basically that can give us just legs in the midfield, a tackler, more than we currently have. I don't know if this Toby Collier guy is going to be promoted or blended into the squad the same way we saw with Mino and Garnacho. If he is, then no problem. But otherwise, that's the profile of midfielder that I'll be looking for. So 2 midfielders, 2 defenders, Delete and Yoro, and then the striker that we currently have already, Xerxes.
Okay, fascinating. Jarvis, what other position do you think we're short of in this football club?
Well, when
you're thinking about how do you think we're going to play?
I've been thinking about how Ten Hag is going to set up his team, because you got to remember Xerxes. He's basically a false 9. That's how he played in Bologna in Serie A. He played
in that system, yeah. In that system, yeah.
And that was the system that he was the young player of Serie A Italy last season because of that. So he's basically, for me, he's a false 9. The only other player we have that can play false 9 is Bruno. So I would actually say that Xerxes and Bruno will compete for that spot, and we still don't have a decent replacement for Højlund as a number 9. Maybe we are signing Ivan Toney. Maybe a striker will come in to be the last piece of the jigsaw in a way. But that's just me thinking of how Ten Hag will do it. But maybe we would need another striker. If we use Xerxes as a deep line, like a number 10 or something.
I don't mind Tony.
I'll take Tony. Yeah. Well, even though he's a Liverpool fan and he said he wants to play for Liverpool, I'm like,
he's a professional.
Big old Windy. Windy says Anthony will be left back up. Get in Inacio. He can play both centre back and left back. Oh yeah. Sporting Lisbon, he plays for Portugal. I think he's really good on the ball, very good on the ball. I don't know how would he take to the physicality of the Premier League, though. That's the thing. I'm worried about him, and he's a very growing out and out season out professional footballer. I think he might be 20-something. He's not that old either, but I don't worry about Yoro, honestly. Some of you are going to be surprised at the physicality of Yoro. Unana needs to improve his positioning. Oh God, gets hammered from the easy shot, 100%. Oh my God, you know what I think about him? I think he's, you know what I think about him? I think he's a break dancer. He's not a goalkeeper, because the way he exaggerates every move, like break dancers. When the break dancers break dance, they exaggerate every movement, don't they? That's what he does for me. Yeah. Nuruddin for Lenny Yoro is Claire 2029 free transfer to Real Madrid. What? I don't know about that. Big up Steve Coppell as well. Big up to everybody. Sean, I'll ask you the question. What do you think? What kind of style do you think? I think the players that we bought, if we get Ugate, if we got Yoro, we get another centre back, I think he's going to double down more on the physicality. I don't think we bought players to play technical football. I think he's going in for more of the physicality. So do you think he's going to play more compact, or are we going to play a bit more open, wide basketball? The vacation of football is going to come back. Which I think, if that happens, I think he's out of a job by Christmas, by the way.
I disagree that the players that we're signing are more physical than technical. I think everybody is looking for the Rodri, Saliba, Declan Rice, Guardiola, Ake type of player that is strong but also extremely technical. So I think that's what we're seeing.
Ugate's not that technical.
I disagree. I think he's Latin American, and he comes with the flavor.
That doesn't mean all Latin American.
I know. I'm being this thing.
That's stereotyping, man.
I know. But what I've seen from him so far, and it's not much. Granted, it's clips. I think it's technical. I think United fans should expect Ten Hag, from my perspective, to double down with some minor tweaks on his current approach. Right, and the players that he's signing now, because Ten Hag's football style, his idea is high risk, high reward, and he wants players who are willing to get into one-on-one situations, whether in the defense, in midfield, or attack, and come out on top. Basically, because that's how they're playing. So those are the type of players that I think he's going for. I think also having a larger squad of relatively equal quality players allows you to rotate the rotation that you want within. I think the additions to the squad that we're making would allow us to get that. So yeah, I wouldn't expect to see a drastic change in terms of quote unquote style of play. I think we're going to see similar the basketballification that you're referring to. I think it looks better on the eye if you're able to, one, retain possession more, and two, recover the ball high up in the pitch like he actually wants to. So it is probably going to look better because we have better players, or because we have the players to implement the manager's ideas more effectively. I think the coaching setup that he also has around him would allow it, would make for a better, I guess, like transmission of said ideas from the manager's mind to the players. So yeah, I expect an improvement on what we saw last season.
Yeah, big up, Sean. Big up United. Is United BT says, has Nuruddin signed for Giddy FC yet? No, not going to sign ever. No. That left back from Colombia, I think I'm trying to pronounce him, Mahoja, is electric. Yeah, he is. He can put a ball in. Oh my God, he's quite short, but he is electric. I watched him, Lilas, definitely. And people can listen. Me and Lilas are very unsure about Ineos, right? He doesn't like Ineos. Wait and see FC, and I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say about Ineos. So please stop having a go at Lilas, right? Leave him alone. It's Bruno's #1 fan. We disagree on that, but me and him get along fine. We just have a different opinion when it comes to Bruno. Jarvis, you have sent me a couple of interesting formations the other day.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, but the players that we've signed, should we have a look at those if you got them on your screen?
Yeah, give me a second. I will see if I can find them. To bring them up first.
Yeah, to see, because I really want to have a conversation about what style. I personally think he's going to go for more, because we were more physical in the first season than the second season. I think we're going to go back to being more compact, because I'm a believer that if you read the reports, Jarvis, that Wilcoxon, that we're telling Ten Hag we need to tighten up. We can't have open wide spaces. You know what I mean?
Yeah. First of all, Nerdin, I can bring up my suggested lineups, but I just want to answer the same question as Sean mentioned. What can we expect next season? And I just want to say, when it comes to what Ten Hag has said, outspoken, he said that he wants to dominate through counter pressing, and for me, I think the counter pressing part is the most important thing for us to succeed next season. Because if you want to dominate the opposition, it requires to quickly organize and win back the ball. And as long as we have the ball, we will dominate the opposition team. But the biggest problem is we won the ball a lot of the times high up the pitch. but we didn't know what to do with the ball. So now we must focus on decision making under pressure, and this involves making the right choices when winning the ball, whether to pass, dribble, to shoot. So Ten Hag now needs to implement a lot of tactical training and match simulation so players can make quicker and better decisions. And when it comes to this counter pressing, we need a lot of fitness and stamina for players to maintain the high intensity play for 90 plus minutes, because we saw last season players were gassing out after 25 to 30 minutes. So we need to continue that if we want to try to do what they did last season. And of course, as I said, technical skills under pressure. So for me, and the last part is like mental resilient. We need to be tough enough in the head to when, because all the time we dominated for a part of the game, and then we let the opposition into the game and they scored a goal and we let our head drops. So we need to improve in so many levels for us to take the next step next season, and I think we can do it. And I think it will be easier for Ten Hag now with the Dutch setup, with Rennie Haki, who will take the defensive side, and Ruud, who will take the offensive side, and Ten Hag will be in the middle instructing his players. So I'm slightly optimistic when it comes to this season, but I won't expect us to do any different than we did last season in what our tactics and vision for the game is. It's still counter pressing, high pressing, and try to dominate the opposition. And if you believe otherwise, you don't know Ten Hag, because this is what he will do. That's just my opinion. Do you think I'm right when it comes to that, Nordin, or do you disagree?
I think you might be right. I do think you might be right, Jarvis. I think you might be right. But all I know is basketball's a vacation of football can't come back. Manchester United cannot be having 6 players run back to their goal every couple of minutes, like we saw against, Nottingham Forest.
The important question is why that was happening, right? That's the question to ask ourselves.
No,
why,
Sean?
Why were we finding ourselves in that position?
All due respect, Sean. All due respect. In the last 4 to 5 games, we saw Manchester United play more compact, more mid to sometimes high. We went halfway line, even with Evans and Casemiro. Jarvis is my witness.
Yeah,
Jarvis is my witness.
Don't you think that was just preparation for the FA Cup final, because we needed to play against Manchester City?
That's not how Ten Hag is going to play.
To me, honestly, Jarvis, to me, I can't see him play the basket. Manchester United do not have the competency of individual players to be able to play that basketball qualification.
Okay. Yeah. So that's now we're getting somewhere now, right?
Let me finish.
And that's what Ten Hag is trying to improve.
No, let me finish. I genuinely do think those players who have come in now as well cannot. Manchester United have to play as a team. Erik Ten Hag's crazy basketball vacation of football does not work in the Premier League, Jarvis. It will never work in the Premier League.
No.
If you had 11, if you had 10,
you were almost there.
You were like soldiers. It's never going to work, because Jarvis, as well as I do. I don't know if Sean knows, but the Premier League, it's so competitive. Everybody wants to have that little bit of it.
Yeah, but
it's not about the Premier League.
Let me finish. Sean, all respectfully, let me finish. You can come and say, write your notes down so you don't forget them. The Premier League, for me, that football does not work. And at times, it didn't work either in Holland. That's why that video came out where Ruud Gullit, one of the best, most intelligent footballers I have ever watched play, telling to him, you cannot vacate the midfield. You cannot have a single pivot and vacate midfield and think to win football games. And I do not see that. It has not worked. It was embarrassing too much, because it was worse than the Sunday League team. I just don't think it will ever work in the Premier League. It will never work. The Premier League, let me finish. The first season of Erik Ten Hag, Premier League works with, if you have trio or triangles that are very aggressive, who play with intensity, with aggression, right? And then who are on the front foot. That type of football works, not 6 up and them coming back and running back like they're 800-meter runners. No, hell way. Let me just get this super chat. Big up Gray Sherry says, I don't trust these cycling frauds. Clay that out. Big up Grace. All the love. 4-3-3 is similar to how Klopp played for Liverpool. High intensity, heavy pressing football. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yo,
right.
Nuruddin, YouTube didn't show me that you were live. Yeah, you see, shadow ban, bro, shadow ban. Jarvis, sorry, Sean, if you want to come back now, you can come back. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Jarvis was saying, and I think I agree, is that Ten Hag, like he said, he wants to quote unquote dominate the game, right? He wants to play the style of football that is popular now, where you press high up and recover the ball quickly in the opponent's half. The idea being that that immediately makes you, more dangerous. What do you need to be able to execute that type of football? You need all 10 players on the pitch, or maybe even 11 to be acting in sync, right? To be pressing in, because pressing doesn't happen with one player. Pressing is a team sport. And what I meant when I said you were almost there is when you say Ten Hag didn't have the players to execute what he wanted to do. And so for that reason, he should be more conservative. I agree with you there, right? But the dilemma for Ten Hag is, do I be conservative or do I try and instill, the idea that I have in these players, results be damned, we're working on, it's a process. It's a process, it's a process, it's a process, right? As a manager, you get paid the big bucks, you have to walk that line, and in many ways, Ten Hag didn't. Let's not relitigate Ten Hag last season. But you can't ask him to play compact. That's not who Ten Hag is. Like, that's not the style of play that I think many United fans even say that they want, in modern day football. So Ten Hag, it looks like, is signing the type of players that would get, and not just Ten Hag, the structure around him, right? Because these guys are also aware of the footballing style and the strategy or whatever. They are investing in players, young players that are more adaptable than older ones, in players that help them play the way they want to play. So I don't think you sign Ugate and Lenny Yoro and delete and start playing compact and football. No, like, you sign these players to let you, or to enable you to play the way that we all want to see United play.
I
You're on
genuinely
mute.
think, I really genuinely think you totally misunderstand what I mean by compact football. Compact football, if like here, right? Oh, Jarvis, if you can do me a favor, please. Compact football to me means, right, that regardless what you're doing, whether you're pressing high, the whole team's together, 10 players are together, right? In squeezing the space, right, together. Whether you're defending mid-block, that the 10 players, outfield players are together in the way they squeeze it, and whether you are in low block, the 10 players are together. That's what compact football means. Compact football, Sean, I need to define it for you, and how I understand compact football to be, is that in football, the most important thing of the game of football is made up about space. You either try to create more space for your players, and for that players then to create the overloads for you to take attacking advantage and score goals, or you're trying to stop the space, not give too much space away. That's what happens in a football game. It's always been from the day it was invented till to this day. Game is about what you do with the space. So what I'm saying to you is that if Eric Ten Hag's tactics, Sean, are we're gonna go for high press, that means the compact means to me that as a team, 10 players move together to compact that space. And then Unana will be like the sweeper keeper, right? Like teams who go. That means then there's hardly any spaces in between you, right? That's what I mean by it. But Jarvis, go ahead. We've got the graphic on the.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say I think you're right, Nuruddin. But when I speak about high press, I think Ten Hag needs to implement to building a cohesive unit where each player understand their role in the Ten Hag system, because that will make the system crucial in a way.
But they did not understand that last season.
Yeah, but for example, when we press high, Nuruddin, counter press, you got to remember when we win the ball, you have to position yourself in a way so you can press again if you lose the ball. You have to think two thoughts at the same time. You have to be intelligent when you press this way. But we don't. We have had last season we saw, for example, Bruno running around like a headless chicken, out of position all the time. We saw, for example, Rashford didn't know how to press from an angle to move the play one direction.
He's the worst. Him and Bruno are the
we have
worst.
so many deficiencies in
Him
how
and
we
Bruno
press.
are the worst. Him and Bruno are the worst.
And this is the
They
things
run
where I
straight
think
forward.
Ten Hag needs to address and figure out how to fix.
Jarvis,
For us.
the two guys that he loves to play through, they're the worst pressers because they press so square. It's unbelievable. They never angle their body, and they don't have that quick short sprints on the angle. On a you know what I mean? On a diagonal.
Preaching to the choir,
They don't do
Nuruddin.
that.
I totally agree. I totally agree. You want to go through this lineup? This is what I have. If we play in a 4-1-4-1, we usually defend in this position, and we have Ugate as the number 6 here. You see, and Menu and Fernandez, Garnacho and Diallo. Maybe someone else on the right if Diallo don't get to play. We will probably see Anthony play there and Xerxes on top, but he will drop down and help. So this will be one possible solution. This is the other formation I have. If we can play with the 3-back line, if we sign De Ligt, you see here De Ligt, Lenny, Yoro, Martinez, Luke Shaw, and Dallo. But this is the weakness. If we go with the 3-5-2, we don't have a wing back. I don't trust Luke Shaw because this is not his natural role. So for me, for this to work, we have to sign Kirkes or someone else who will be the left wing back. But it's an option, as you see, Ugate, Fernandez, Menu with Xerxes and Højlund on top, playing in the 2-striker formation. And this is the last one. Maybe if we go with the more total football style with the 3-4-3 with Martinez, Ligt, Yoro, Garnacho and Fernandez on the right, Ugate and Menu. And then we can fit Rashford into the squad because there's not much defensive responsibility playing in with the four-back midfield, and Højlund and Xerxes on top. So we have options. So my question is, Sean, do you think this is possible? Do Ten Hag have options next season? Can we see the 3-4-3 or the 5-3-2 or other formations?
Yes, Ten Hag has more options with players that we're signing. Now I like the formations. I prefer formations with 4 at the back, generally to the 3 at the back formations. I also think one of the mistakes that Ten Hag made last season was making a dramatic change from the previous season, and I think either of the 3 at the back formations that you put up, Jarvis, would be too drastic a change from last season. That we run the same risk of having the players take too long to adapt to the new system, and then getting into a place where Nuruddin is asking us to play compact football and more defensively. And I'm teasing. I know you don't mean defensive when you say compact. I'm just trying to rile you up.
Listen, let me just get
I'm just trying to rile you up.
No. Somebody just said. Somebody just put here. Compact means low block. No, it doesn't.
Sure.
Compact can mean you are up the pitch. You compact. When you compact in midfield, that means you're together. Compact means close in the space. That's how I understand it. It's about closing on the space.
No, but
whether you're
closing
pressing
of the
high,
space,
pressing low,
the way to think about it is moving
it
together. Is moving together as a team, right? And the way you press is because when a team is trying to break down the press, how they do it is that they switch the ball from one flank to the other. They try to do it quickly, so that by the time the ball is recycled to the other flank, the opposition team is out of position, right? And what United need to be able to do is move in a unit. And I think, Javi, that's what you said. Everybody needs to know their role, and they need to know their role within the system. Which means when you go here, I cover the space. And when I cover the space, the other person, takes this position. Everybody needs to get in sync. And I think, knowing Ten Hag, or if I think I know Ten Hag, he's going to double down. That's what I see him doing. I see him trying to double down and build on, which is kind of what we saw. So we're going to see 4-2-3-1.
Sean, he can't, because the club has said, Jim the Radcliffe has said, Manchester Ineos will decide what the style of play is. So Ten Hag would have to agree.
Yeah, you can play the same. You can play the same formation and have many different.
Not the formation. Not
styles.
the formation. He's not talking about formation. They're talking about style of play, and that's what I was saying to you, Jason Wilcox. The reports were right, Jarvis. What was alleged is that Jason Wilcox told him Manchester United play more compact. There cannot be wide open spaces.
Right.
Yeah, we heard that. There were a lot of rumors about that, and maybe you're right, but I haven't got that confirmed from anyone.
That was apparently somebody. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think that was the line from the Athletics.
It's also pretty convenient now, though, right? That message also came towards the end of the season when Ten Hag was trying to salvage.
People. West Ham are in talks to sign N'Golo Conte.
Wow. I would love us to sign Kante, right? So I said we needed 2 midfielders. If we can sign Ugate and Kante, I'll be the happiest.
To be fair, he was injury prone. He was so injury prone when he played. That's why he went to Saudi, because he was so injury prone, man. He looked good for France, but obviously because he's playing in a less intense league, you know what I mean? But yeah, he's too injury prone for my liking. If we get and Martinez together, would they be starting centre back? Yoro will be coming off the bench. I genuinely, I'm not gonna lie to you, I really don't believe Yoro is gonna sit on the bench. I'm not lying to you guys.
If we don't sign the lead, then yes, he would start.
Even if we sign the lit, I'm telling you guys, 100%, I think he's coming to play. He's not going to sit on no bench.
No, if he's that good, if he proves himself, then sure, of course, Yoro should start. I'm not invested in any particular name being the one that starts, but I think if both players show up in training, I think the Ligt looks like the better player than Lenny Yoro, and therefore, earns a starting lineup and probably, is more respected in dressing rooms, is a better player generally than Yoro. Yoro might be a better prospect, might have a higher ceiling. Yoro might come with the benefit of being more available than the Ligt, but I think if both of them are fit, the Ligt starts before.
Big up Al. We don't all love Luke Shaw. No, we don't all love. I've been saying for 5-6 years ago.
I'm the only one that loves Luke Shaw.
Yeah, this is it. Big up Sean for the love for Luke Shaw. I actually think they're the one that you showed, the three at the back. The other formation with Garnacho. I think Manchester United have got at the moment. We've got Luke Shaw. No, we haven't. We've got Garnacho. We've got Ahmad. We've got Rashford. We've got Sancho. If I'm not, and Anthony. 5. We have 5 so I can never imagine them not playing. So I think in games we will end up with Zerski and Højlund in the field. Yes, but I don't believe
this is what we have right now. Or now we have Euro. So
I definitely do not believe that. I definitely don't believe that they're gonna just play 3-5-2. I don't believe that's the style it's gonna play. I think it'll be very rare if we play that. I think it'd be very, and if we play that, then we're definitely resting a lot of players. Do you know what I mean? To play that, I think we're gonna be resting players.
Yeah. But I think we will still see the 3-1-6 in some sort of or the 3-1-3-3 or whatever you want to call it. But I think the key is the counter press. We will counter press. But for me, I think one of the biggest worries is how to maintain the high press, the high intensity through 90 minutes. And I don't think Ten Hag have the ballers yet to keep the ball so we can, in a way, rest with the ball.
Yeah,
and get our breath back, because we are playing with too much intensity. We will never, because when it comes to football, you have the thing that they call la pausa that came from La Liga. Always step on the ball, hold on to the ball, take time, let players come into position.
Play the ball. Listen, no,
but we need the players to do that now.
Listen,
right?
Jarvis,
that's what Ericsson needs to bring to. That's what Ericsson brings to the
listen.
team.
We did it in season 1, Jarvis. You remember? We used to try to attack.
Ericsson did that.
We used to recycle, come out, go the other way, then come back. Remember the goal we scored against Liverpool? You know, when we beat Liverpool 2-1. Look at that goal.
Perfect.
That was the perfect goal. It was 5, 6, and then what's his name? He plays for Nottingham Forest now. Made the brilliant run. I think it was. It might have been. I don't know who it was that played him. It might have been Ericsson. Played the ball in behind. And by that time, Sancho was in the middle. Ball came across. Bam! It was patient build-up. It wasn't just attack, get the ball in the first half. No, we played with patience. We moved Liverpool out of positions. move
Yeah,
them,
it's about
loaded
2,
them,
3 bounce
stop them.
passes,
Yes.
step on the ball, just wait, because you need to wait for players to come into position, and then you strike.
That's in
100%.
midfield. That's why we need somebody, and it's just so painful that we're getting Ericsson at this age where he doesn't have the legs to really keep up. But that kind of player is exactly what the team needs.
Yeah.
Ideally, right? Bruno is Bruno. I agree with you, Nuruddin, that sometimes Kobe Mino can play Bruno's position. But the ideal midfield pairing would be somebody like Ericsson with more legs. Give me Fabregas in his prime, right? Or Modric. Somebody who can, or even Paul Scholes if I'm being too, if we're really, really living in a fantasy land.
Frankie de
Somebody
Jong.
who can. De Jong. No, De Jong is just as much of a unicorn as Delete, and maybe Ten Hag will finally get the band back together. If not this season, then the next. We'll see Delete come now, and then maybe De Jong will come later, and Ten Hag will finally assemble his prime Ajax squad. Anthony will still be around. But yeah, no, it's all up from here. I think we need to strengthen the midfield. I don't mind if we get another left back. Personally, I don't mind if we get another one, even though I would rather we get
I'm not
Delete
seeing
and
him.
Yoro.
Lilas, Earthman, I'm
Um,
not seeing him. But big up to you. No, 100%. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. It's going to be very interesting. I just wanted to, there were a couple of comments made. I just want to go to them quickly before we go. Will the Premier League take action? I think the Premier League have tried to ignore it. That the players singing racist song. At the end of the day, it was Enzo who was live on his IG that was singing that song. So they haven't got any other player that they can visibly see, especially United players. But they've been singing that song, Windy, from the World Cup after they won the World Cup. I saw, was it Martinez from Villa? I don't know what his fair, or Avi Martinez, is that his name? The goalkeeper. He was singing that song. The Argentinian fans are deeply racist. They're very ignorant. When I was in Brazil, and I asked a lot of the Brazilians what happens when you play in the Copa Libertadores, which is the equivalent to the Champions League. Brazilian teams play in Argentina. Majority of black players get monkey chanted. Monkey chanted. And all you need to do is go and look at the history of Argentina, how it was this Aryan European country in Latin America. Go and look at that up. But yeah, for me,
their history is fucked. Like they deliberately engineered.
Very
The
engineered. Like to
aesthetics
only have
of their
white
country.
people. To have white people, white Europeans.
Nah,
So,
but Enzo. I mean, the song. I don't think those guys really have malice in their hearts.
No, I don't think
they're
it's
being able to
malice.
sing it.
But they're singing,
Yeah.
but the ignorance in it, to me, it's more ignorance than deep racism. But the song, they didn't make up the song, the players. The Argentinian fan singer who have deep racist beliefs. But I don't actually believe that the players are racist, but they sang a racist song. Do you understand what I'm saying? They've done it out of ignorance, but it's deep.
Yeah, I mean, and Enzo has apologized. I think everybody will be fine.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be fine because Fofana and another player and the right back for Barcelona both talked about it, and they've got the most gorilla emojis and the N words throwing at them on both of their social medias. So yeah, solidarity with what's his name? The guy who used to play for Sevilla. He plays right back for Barcelona. He played right back for France. For France, he played right back for France. What's his name? Kunde. Kunde, yeah. Kunde, yeah. Both Fofana and Kunde have both received. Danny says here all the Nazis went there. Yeah, it's true. A lot of Nazis escaped to Argentina and some Latin American countries.
Fofana should focus on trying to be fit and play football, please.
Yeah. Emilio Martinez, he was singing it. Honestly, I saw him singing that song on Twitter, one of the celebrations they had after the World Cup. So it is what it is. We're not going to shake it on this channel. We hate racism. So abusing somebody because
I just want to say, Nordi, you got to remember Argentina. They were under dictatorship for so many years, very isolated with the Argentinian junta. people weren't free. If you said your mind, you got shot.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and there's a lot of subcultures growing into that, and it's a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah, yeah. Very right wing, like
Yeah.
ultra militaristic,
Yeah.
country. Yeah, it became. Big up to everybody. Love and light. We say welcome to Manchester United, Lenny Yoro. If you know Foxy Brown track, yo 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 Yoro, yo 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 yo. This is it. That's his new song. I'm gonna try to teach the people at the Stretford end that the singing section. So big up to everybody. Love and light. Big up to Jarvis. And big
Thank
up
you.
to Sean. And big up to Tom as well for jumping on. I think maybe his battery died or he had a prior arrangement. So to look at for Jarvis is Jarvis Cocker. You know, I mean, never gonna give you up. Check him out. Bowley, man like Rick Astley. Bowley 77. And the Monday night show on Man UFC Realist TV.
Yep.
And that's his channel. So make sure you check him out on there. That's the channel he does the show on. Big up to Sean. Sean is Sean Thomas. And if I can hopefully get on this to make it, but it's not letting me do it. There we go. Let me just put it in here for him. Let me just see how we see things. It's the geopolitical podcast, so check that out, people. Check that out. And it's at Sean Thomas on Twitter as well. Let me just put the app there. Boom. At Sean Thomas. And that's how I would say it's how we see things. So that's a geopolitical program. Big up to Alien Tenno, big up to Lilas, big up to the regulars. It was shadow banned. That's why the numbers are what the numbers are, people. But those of you who are watching this later, how happy about Yoro? Do you think Ugate is the guy that we need? And do you think it's the guy that we, or do you think we need more of a technical midfield player? I would get me more in the comments. Do you think who's going to be the starting guy? Or even if we buy the lit, is the lit the starting guy? So let us know in the comments, yeah? Let's talk about it in the comments. Do you want Maguire and Lindelof gone? Do you think we should? We already know that Toby Collier, and Mark Fish, who's I think he's 21 now, Mark Fish. I think he's 21. He was at a loan in Hibernian. He was born in 2003, if I'm not mistaken. That means he's 21, yeah? If you were born that time, I'm guessing. Yeah. So
Will Fish is 21, yeah.
Yeah, 21. Yeah, 21. Yep. So 21 years old. So and Toby Collier is 20 years old. So both of them, it's make or break for them this season. It's make or break for them. So this is what we're looking for. So please let us know in the comments, and we'll be back soon with another show. This was the show. This is the first show of Red Transfer Watch. So Red Transfer Watch. This is the show, people. Know where it is. Hopefully we're going to try to do more daily content before the season starts. But big up to everybody. Love and light. Win, lose or draw. Glazers out. Bankers out. And we say free Palestine, free the Congo, free Sudan, Tigray region, free the Ogaden as well, and free anybody who's oppressed. And like Java says, thanks for watching. Leave a comment in an online comment so the show help the channel. There you go. Nora, what's the message on your shirt? No police in schools. No police in schools. Stop criminalizing children in an educational setting. That is what I'm saying. Stop bringing police to schools. No police in schools. There we go. And fuck the racists. They can all suck on one. There we go, people. Don't be racist. Be human. Don't dehumanize people. Don't be ignorant. Educate yourselves. There you go, people. Big up to you. Love and light. Look after yourselves. Jarvis, we'll catch you hopefully. If anything else, tomorrow I might do another show. So if you're available, Sean, let me know as well. Yeah?
And
Take
more
Middling,
breaking news. More breaking news. Love and light. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening and work tomorrow, Jarvis. How's the weather out there?
oh, it's brilliant, brilliant. 30 degrees.
I can see the tan on your face. I can see the tan on your face. I'm so happy for you. The weather here is absolute pile of shite.
Oh.
It's the Scandinavian weather, the cold Scandinavian that's coming from Iceland and the Arctic coming down here, meeting with the hot air coming from Southern Europe, and this rain and cloud.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nuruddin, do you know about Tigray? Please teach yourself. Yeah, I know about the Tigray. I don't want anybody fighting in the Tigray region. I do know. Trust me. You'll be shocked at what I know. Take care, people. Take care. We'll be live again tomorrow if any more breaking news, transfer news. Good night. Pick up Alien as well. Love. Stand united. Take care. Good night. Pick up Jarvis.
Thanks.
How's the family?